So I'd like to welcome you to session 2 of our chair yoga class, where we're going to be building on what we did last class with some of the fundamentals. And today we're actually going to move into a bit of a flow. So you're going to be doing flow chair yoga. So as always, pay attention to your body. A little bit of discomfort is normal, is natural, but searing pain, never a place for that. So let's go ahead and begin. So checking in from last class, just want to make sure that we've got a nice neutral seat. And well, this is our seated mountain pose. So what you want to do is come towards the edge of your seat, root down through your sit bones. And again, those are the little bony protrusions on either side. You want to make sure that your ankles are under your knee, both knees, and then inhale, nice length through your spine. Exhale, relax your shoulders back and down. So you naturally have a little curve to your back, and we want that. That is your support structure.
Need a chair.
And then go. Okay. Welcome, Stevie. So just tune into your breath. Notice the cadence of your breath. And become aware of where your breath starts and ends. And we talked about diaphragmatic breath last time a little bit. It's how we breathe. But your main diaphragm that we breathe with is connected all the way from your hip bones to your collarbones. So as you breathe, we want to feel the air moving all the way, big Buddha belly, all the way through the chest to the collarbones. And then as you exhale, the air leaves through your collarbones, your chest, your belly, and your hip. And if you want to get at that little extra oomph at the edge or the end of your exhale, you could actually lift up through your pubis, pulling kind of your pubis up and in, kind of like a Kegel. But if you do that, it is very, very gentle. Nothing is forced, no iron steel. Yoga is nice and gentle. So just tuning into your breath. Eyes can be closed throughout our practice if you'd like, or you can take a hazy gaze, or of course, just use me as your focal point, whatever feels best for you. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to move into our hands a little bit. So I'm coming to the corner of my chair just for a little stability. And you're going to extend your arms out and thumbs are up. Now, if this is too much for you, you can always lower them if need be. But I want you to bring your shoulder sockets back into your back. So if you reach and stretch, you feel your back stretching. And then I just want you to bring your shoulder blades back in place. That puts them nicely on your back. And then from here, I'm going to have you make a fist nice and tight. Your thumb is on the outside, and then spread your fingers out wide. So we're just going to kind of pump our fingers, maybe a soft bend in your elbow. Go ahead and, you control the rate and pace of your pump. But what we're actually helping here is getting some circulation into your fingers. Our blood in our body moves through the veins. And the thing is, the heart pumps it out as well as it can, but the little capillaries that lead to everything, they need a little extra help. And that's where our mobility, what we're doing right now, is very helpful, because it's almost like you're pumping blood into those extremities. So go ahead, release your hands back down. Palms can sit on your shoulders. Palms on your lap. Shoulders relaxed and down. Inhale, length through your spine. And then exhale, just a little dip to the chin. So what I want you to do is really lengthen through the back of your neck. You've done it right if you start to get a little double chin. We call that ramping the neck. So if you look at me, I don't know, is it an owl or a bird? You know how you lean forward and then back? Can you see that subtle motion that I'm doing? So crown of the head up, chin down a little bit. There, we've got a nice spine now. Everything's in alignment. And now we're just going to do some head rolls, half moon circles. So I'm going to have you bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then go ahead and allow your chin to dip down, center chest, and then left ear to left shoulder. And then we're going to reverse that. Chin comes back down toward your chest. And then right ear to right shoulder. Breathe into your whole side of your neck, and then we'll go the other direction. So these are just half moons. Last class we did side to side, and we're advancing it a bit. And doing a little bit of a roll with your neck. And if you hear popping and crunching, vibrating in your skull, that is very normal. It's very natural. And maybe one day, not so much cracking. And we want to come back to a nice neutral neck, gazing forward. Relax your shoulders. Take a big inhale and exhale. And now we're going to move into a seated cat-cow. So we start off in our nice neutral seat. Hands are on the thighs. And on the inhale, we're going to lead with your chest and your heart opening. Think of your shoulder blades coming back. And then exhale, we're just going to round slightly. And your hands can drift towards your knees. But we're just curving, so we're hollowing out the belly, a nice C shape. And then inhale forward, lead with your chest open, and go ahead and just breathe normally here. Now notice my neck, I'm not hyperextending it. It's just a soft, gentle arch that continues with my spine. And then hollow back, rounding out, scooping out that belly. Think of bringing the navel up in towards the heart, really feeling a nice stretch in your back. And then to bring it up to speed, we inhale forward and exhale back. Let's do that a few more times, moving at your own rate and pace. And now we're going to add another dimension to it. So the next time you come forward, let's stay here. And then on your inhale, you're going to begin to circle around, exhaling all the way back, curving back to that C shape that we had. And then we're going to inhale forward. And I'll turn sideways so you can see that a little better. So this is part of the pose we just did, but we're adding a sideways motion on the exhale. We're fully exhaled to the back, and then we inhale around to the side, now opening up the chest. So we want to feel really rooted and stable through the sit bones, and notice your weight transferring from the front of your pelvic girdle to the side, to the back tailbone area, to the other side, and back to the front. So we're just stirring up the pot a little bit, and we want to slow down. And now we're going to change directions. And maybe starting off nice and slow. Slow, small circles. And as it feels good, you can make your circles a little bigger, a little more pronounced. And if anything feels really good, like you're getting into a spot and you're like, this feels good, you can hold it and just breathe into it and notice where you're feeling the sensations in your body. And then pick up and carry on. But this is your practice. I want you to make it your own. Really pay attention to how your body is feeling and responding. And as I said earlier, no searing pain, but do try to push your limits gently and with focused control. And we're going to slow down, come back to a seated position. And we're going to move onto our shoulders and our arms a little bit. So I'm going to have you lift up your right arm, bend your elbow, and you're going to put your right hand on your left shoulder. And then use your opposite hand, just guide your elbow in towards your body. So relax your shoulders, relax through your spine, and breathe into it. So we want to get a nice opening along the shoulder. This is a very gentle form of opening, and the hand is just gliding along the opposite shoulder, and that keeps everything nicely in alignment. So if you've had any issues with your shoulders or rotator cuffs, this is more gentle. You might also have seen this pose done overhead, and you can do that too if that feels good for you, but just listen to your body, because not all of us can lift our arms over our head anymore. And then slowly relax that, release, and we're going to move on to the other side. So now extend your left arm, bend at the elbow, bring your hand to your shoulder, and we'll just start off here. And then your opposite hand goes on the elbow, and then we move your elbow in towards your shoulder. Now, each side could be different because we have dominant arms, etc. If you are feeling searing pain, again, back off. Can you tell I'm feeling pain? So you just want to back off. You don't want to push it too far. And again, if it felt good to go overhead on the other side and the shoulder feels good, you can definitely do that. I am not going to model it though. Let's breathe into it. We need to find out where our limits are. And we need to kind of stay in our sweet spot, our range, where we're getting the benefit. So one more big, deep inhale. Exhale and release your hands down. Now we're going to enter into a flow pose. So this is a chair version of Sun Salutations. So we're going to start off at the edge. We're going to bring hands to Anjali Mudra, which is prayer hands, right towards the center of the chest. And we're going to do this taking a few breaths for each one. And then as we move into the flow, we'll advance it. So feeling good here. We have a nice neutral seat. And then on the next inhale, we're going to lift our arms up and over, really reaching through your fingers. And then as you exhale, the arms are going to float down to the side. You're going to use the strength of your abdominal muscles hinging from your hips into a forward fold. And your hands can glide down your legs. Head can get really nice and heavy. Just breathe here. Feel the expansion along your back body. And on your next inhale, we're going to use your abdominal muscles and your hands for support. We're going to lift up back to seated. And this time we're bringing our right knee with us. So we're just clasping our right knee. So I want you to lengthen through your spine, root down through your sit bones. We're going to do a little bit of that cow pose where you're leading with your heart open, maybe a tiny arch in your back. Maybe your gaze goes up just a little bit. And then as you exhale, you're going to round over your knee. So now we're moving into more of that cat pose, just a nice rounding. Breathe into it. And then very slowly on your next inhale, you're going to release your right leg down and reach your arms back up, tall mountain. So that is one side. And then exhale, flowing down, forward fold. Head gets really nice and heavy, resting your chest on your body. And then on your next inhale, we're going to come back to a seated position using your abdominals to help lift you. And we're bringing our left knee with us, squeezing it in, opening up, coming into that kind of cow pose. So we're leading with our heart. Breathe in and then exhale, rounding through the back into our cat pose. Hollowing out through the belly. Breathe in and out, nice and deep. And then on your next breath, we're going to release the leg. Inhale, arms up, nice and tall. And then sweep forward, fold. Nice and heavy. We're going to inhale back up to seated. Bring your arms overhead and then back down to prayer. That was a little taste of a sun flow. And now we're going to get some more motion into our shoulders. I'm going to have you extend out your right arm, and then you're going to bring your left arm just across your body. So root down through your sit bones, and then we're turning slightly to the side towards the extended arm. And then on your next breath, we're going to change arms and we're going to rotate. So we're swiveling. It's a nice twist. So we're leading with our arms. Inhale back to the left. Exhale to the other side. Or you can do a complete breath for each one. You choose. The big thing is that we're moving with our breath and we're bringing motion in. And we have a nice twist going on. And I want you to think of twisting more from your upper torso and then to your waistline, rather than twisting from your waist to your upper torso. And then slowly come back to center. Allow your hands to rest down. Just take a moment to allow that asana or that pose to settle in. And now we're going to do a bear hug, and I'm going to help you to show you to transition that to eagle arms. So for a bear hug, you just spread your arms nice and wide. Then you're going to cross your elbows, bringing your right elbow on top. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Now, this is a bear hug, and this might be where you keep this pose. Now, if you want to transition this to eagle arms, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your forearms up so your fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then some people can actually interlace their fingers, but if you can't, your hands can just be pointing up. So see what feels better. Is it bear hug or is it eagle pose? And then whatever pose you're choosing, bring your elbows up slightly and relax your shoulders back down. This is a really lovely pose for your shoulders. And go ahead and relax your hold. Maybe shake out your arms a little bit. Now we're going to do that on the other side. So arms up out to the side. And this time the left arm is going to cross on top of the right. Give yourself a nice hug. See how the bear hug feels. And now on this side, we can try the eagle arms also. And this side, I can do eagle arms. So eagle arms, like we did before, your hands might be at a V, but if you can bring the back of your palms together, or some people can bring their palms together in front. There's nothing magic about it. You're going to still get a really nice benefit, whether you're doing bear pose or arms apart or palms facing. So just choose what works best for you. And whichever variation you're in, bring your elbows up a little bit, relax your shoulders down and back, and breathe into it. See if you can feel a nice release along your backside. And slowly relax your hands, let them float back. And we're going to go back into a forward fold. So root down through your sit bones. You can use your hands for support. Nice tall spine. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Let's go ahead and bring your hands down and between your legs. And if you've got shorter arms, you might need to spidey your fingers so you come up on your fingertips, or you might be able to place your palms down. We all have different lengths. And now with your left elbow, I want you to bend your left elbow, and then we're going to start to bring your left elbow up towards the ceiling. So we're doing a bit of a rotating twist here. Listen to your body at all times. I don't want anyone to feel any searing pain. If you do, back off and just make a mental note of it. So if your elbow is up and you'd like to extend your hand, you can. Then breathe in along your whole side body. But do what you can and feel good about it. And then go ahead and bring your hand back down. Place it in the center. And now we're going to do this on the opposite side. So decide if you're going to come up on spidey fingers, or you could even put a book under there. And then we're going to bend your right elbow. We're going to begin to twist our torso, leading with your elbow. And if it feels good, you can extend your arm. The big thing here is we're getting a nice twist. You could even have your right hand on your knee if that felt better. Inhale, length through the spine. Exhale, relax into the twist and feel the nice stretch all along your side body. And if you'd like, your head your gaze can be down at your hand, or it can be out to the side, or if you have your hand extended, it could be up towards your hand. The big belly breaths here. And then slowly untwist yourself back to center. Use your hands, your abdominal muscles. Lift back up to a seated pose. All right. And then we're going to bring our hands behind us, and we might just be grabbing the chair. Or if you can clasp your hands, you can also clasp your hands. If you do clasp your hands, I want you to unclasp them and put the other thumb on top. Anyway, from this, we open up, leading with the heart, relaxing your shoulders back and down, bringing your shoulder blades a little closer together. And to fine tune this too, think of rolling the eye of your elbow towards your back. And that helps to open up your shoulders a little bit more, help you to open up through your chest, and just breathe into it. So nice long spine, really feeling rooted and grounded through your sit bones, lengthening through your torso, and then very slowly release your hands back, maybe shake them out a little bit. And we're gonna maybe sit back a little deeper in your chair, extend your right foot out, and then we're just gonna point and flex. So point and flex a few times. See how that feels. Maybe go nice and slow. And now we're going to rotate your foot clockwise. Now remember what I said when we were doing our hands, making the fists and then the starfish fingers. Same thing with your feet. You need to move the feet, need to move your toes to help get circulation in there. And then we're going to rotate, change directions. Sometimes that takes a little brain thought too. So this is yoga is the connection of mind, body, and breath. And then we're going to go ahead and bend that knee back, extend the opposite leg. And we'll just flex and point a few times. And really think of pointing your toes. And then when you flex them, maybe spreading them open too. So sitting up nice and tall, check your posture. So shoulders are over your hips. Your right ankle is under your right knee. Nice length through your spine, gentle tuck to the chin. And then let's go ahead and circle in one direction. And if you want to add those little toes opening and closing with your circling, you can. This might take a little bit of concentration, which is good for our brains. And then the opposite direction. Always returning to your breath. And go ahead and stop, coming back to a neutral position. I'm going to turn my chair so the back is to the back now. And we are going to move into a gate pose. So for gate pose, I'm going to keep my right knee bent under me and my left leg, I'm going to extend it out to the side. And it might feel better to sit on the corner of your chair too. So you just play with what feels good for you. So we've got an alignment of ankle and knee, and then the leg is to the side, and we want to press down through the outer edge of the foot. And now this is my left leg. So my left arm is going to slide down my leg. My right arm can come up towards the ceiling. So really think of reaching and lengthening through your spine. And if that feels good, then you can do a little side bend. But if you are doing the side bend, I want you to open up through your chest. So we're opening. I don't want you concaving down. All right. And then slowly, if your arm is up, lower it down. Bring your leg in. We're going to move on to the other side. So ground down through your left leg and then extend your right leg to the side. Just however far feels good, stretching it out, pressing the sole of your foot into the floor. Kind of think of pressing through the outside edge. Is everyone doing okay? All right. All righty. If that feels good, then right arm can go down, right leg. We can bring the left arm up, really lengthen through the spine first. We always want to lengthen and lift the spine, creating space in between our vertebrae. And then if you want to add the twist or the side bend, go ahead and do that. But we're lengthening and then moving over. So we're not just falling in. We're doing it with control. The heart is open, breathing in deeply. And slowly coming back out of that. And bring yourself back to a neutral seated position. And we're going to do a little lunge flow now. So with a lunge flow, what we're going to do, find your nice neutral seat. And then you're going to inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. And you're using your hands for support. And then exhale, straighten your leg, push through the sole of your foot. And then on your next breath, bring your knee back in and then lower it down. Okay, so we want to try to keep a nice tall spine. So starting from here, we're going to inhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Press it out. Really press through the sole of your foot and then bring your left knee back in and then back down. Okay, let's move back to the other side. So get a firm foundation first. Inhale, right knee up. Press through the sole of your foot. Inhale your knee back. and then lower it down. Other leg, inhale your leg up. Press through the sole of your foot. Inhale it back, and then lower it down. And whether you're inhaling when I say or exhaling, it doesn't matter. I just want you to breathe. Okay, so we're gonna continue on. So right knee in, press your foot out. Right knee in, right foot down. Left knee in, press it out. Left knee in, down to the floor. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, try not to use your hands. You can have your hands on the chair. Right knee in, press it out. Right knee in, bring your foot down. Remember, we want to keep a tall spine. So support yourself and use your hands if need be. Left knee in, press it out. Left knee in, bring it down, and relax. So go ahead now. We're going to take your right foot and we're going to cross it over your left knee. Now, we did this last class, and if it makes sense to extend your leg and have your foot down lower, we just want to feel a nice opening in the hips. So you want to see where that is. You'll feel it kind of in your outer left, your outer hip. If you're here and you're not feeling too much, then we can add a forward fold. But if this feels good, if you're feeling a nice opening, and even if your knee is up high, that's fine, because we all have different bone structures. So if your knee's up higher, that's totally cool. We just want you to feel it down in your hip opener. And if you want to add the forward fold, you do it with a long spine, just leaning forward, and it gets a little deeper in. But you're the judge of where that is. So don't think you need to look like the model. And then we're going to slowly come back up. Gently return your foot back. And then we're going to move on to the other side. So the opposite leg lifts up. And remember, if you want to extend your leg, slowly guide it up. You choose where that spot is. But we want to make sure that the bony ankle is not pressing into our leg. Root down through your sit bones. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Either stay here if this is enough stretch, or if you want to fold forward, you can. And use your breath to move into your muscles. And I want you to imagine your muscle fibers. So when you first put stress on them, they're taut, kind of like a really taut guitar string. And after it stays there for a while, they lose a little bit of that tautness. They become a little more relaxed. And when that happens, you can move maybe a little deeper into the pose too. But your muscles need time to relax. We don't want to put too much force on them and not give them that ability. And then very slowly, I'm going to come back up. We're going to enter into our Savasana. So you don't have to maintain that upright posture as before. Go ahead and sit back in your chair and lean back. Get your feet at a comfortable distance apart. Go ahead and rest your palms down on your thighs. Close your eyes or take a hazy gaze down your nose and return to your breath. Use your breath to do a body scan from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Are there any places where it catches? Places where it moves freely? And just take a moment right now to thank yourself for coming today. Thank your body for being there for you. And even though we have our aches and our pains and things happen, we still got to be grateful for this wonderful body that is helping us move through life and interact. And we traditionally end our classes with Namaste, which is just a recognition of the divine within you and honoring yourself. So we rub our hands together it's a way to say hello or goodbye also, kind of like aloha. So activating all of those nerve endings in your hands, go ahead and press your thumbs into your sternum. And when we press our thumbs into the sternum, we're also slightly causing pressure on our vagus nerve, which is one of the main nerves that runs throughout our body, helps us to relax. Relax your shoulders back and down. Inhale, length through your spine. With much gratitude for sharing your practice with us all today. Namaste.
Namaste.